Hey family, this is Mark Moore Jr., the host of the Young Leaders Conference, and I begin by reminding you that this is still the day that the Lord has made, and we will find a reason to rejoice and being glad in it. I am certainly praying that the peace of God, the favor of God, the comfort of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is surrounding you and your family now, wherever you are in the country, wherever you are in the world. Certainly, we are collectively and corporately praying for all of those that have been impacted and affected by this coronavirus, COVID-19 pandemic that has literally swept over the world. And in these trying times, I wanted to come back to you and give you really part two of what we've kind of called our coronavirus survival guide. As the host of YLC, I really feel a certain burden and a mandate even to do something that will put us in position to serve as a resource for those that are affected even in a number of ways as a result of this conference. Surely, or this pandemic, surely we know that the health challenges that are posed by this coronavirus are certainly nothing to play with. But I have been suggesting from the beginning of this outbreak that the economic and the societal shifts and impact that will be caused by this pandemic are going to be even longer lasting, and in some cases, maybe even more far-reaching than the physical implications. And so we did a video not long ago where we gave out some necessary and key strategies for those of you, particularly those of you that are in full-time ministry, whether you be an itinerant minister, a pastor, a associate minister, whether you are a choir director or a minister of music or a musician. If you've been impacted economically by this pandemic, we put together a list of things that you should consider in this season. But I wanted to come back and give you some practical things that you could possibly put in place some of them as soon as today, that can put you in position to bring in some additional income to kind of supplement maybe what might be impacted or lost by the virus. There are still some opportunities that are accessible to us. I wish, you have no idea how bad I wish we were in church right now so I could tell you to touch your neighbor, but we can't do that right now. So high five yourself real quick, grab a pen, and I want you to get these things down, because these are some practical, easy, accessible avenues that you can bring in some additional money for you and your household. And let me say this is not the season to be grand or bougie. All right. This is not the season to have an idea that I can't do that because that's beneath me. This is a season of survival for some of us. And so I want you to listen with an open mind, but let's consider these things. Number one, pandemic survival guide, coronavirus survival guide. Number one way I want to give you to bring in some additional resource, you might consider in this season selling some of your gently used clothes. All right. There are a number of websites such as ThreadUp, Poshmark, The Real, that make an entire business model. They built an entire business model around selling gently used wares and clothes and things of that nature. Everything from jewelry to watches to shoes. Some of you ministers, preachers, you've got that section of your closet with the suits that you will never wear again. All right. Some of you women, wonderful women in ministry, you have graduated from that rhinestone phase. There is somebody else that might be ready to grow up and take that mantle. This might be a good season for you to separate with some of those shoes and hats and suits and purses and things of that nature, watches and jewelry that you do not wear anymore. Maybe this would be a good time to possibly not only make room in your closet, but also bring in some additional income, because somebody somewhere, believe it or not, could use what you have. So number one, consider selling some of your gently used clothes and items. Number two, write this down. Of course, all of this is on your screen. But number two, you might want to consider trading in your old cell phones or electronic devices for cash. Listen to me carefully. If you have an old iPhone, an iPad, a gaming system, laptop lying around, there are sites such as, get this, SwapUp, SWAPPA, and Nextworth, NEXTWORTH. You need to check those sites out. Some of you have laptops and iPads and tablets literally laying around the house doing nothing but collecting dust. You might want to get rid of those now. And also check out Amazon's trade-in program, because Amazon, they can also pay you in Amazon gift cards, which could be an asset and something to have in this season. Here's another one. You all know this one. You all have seen this one. All of us have used this one, but it might be a good season to consider being one of those providers. This might be the season, here's number 3, to consider driving for Uber or Lyft. All right. If you've noticed and paid attention, even during this pandemic, people still have to eat. Hear me. People, when they cannot go out, when restaurants are closing, when businesses are shutting down and things are not as accessible, grocery stores are out of a lot of items, we have seen statistically a spike and a rise in Uber Eats and in some of these food delivery services. This might be an opportunity to check that out and sign up, because in some cases, and really in all cases, and for some this means more than for others, but every little bit helps. All right. So you might want to consider looking at the possibility of driving for Uber or for Lyft. Hand in hand with that one, you might want to consider making deliveries for Amazon. You might want to consider making deliveries for Amazon, Instacart, Uber Eats, Postmates, or even Amazon Flex. Many of these providers, you get paid per delivery, and in many cases, you can even earn tips. This might be an option. Ain't nobody calling you to play organ right now, all right? But you have a card that you have to keep the note up on. This might be an option that you want to consider. Let's go a little bit further here. You might want to consider, here it is, picking up freelance work online. I'm going to give you a couple of sites here that you might want to investigate. Again, we are here as nothing more than a resource to give you options that you might not have been aware were in your reach and within your grasp. You might want to consider freelance work online. Websites such as Upwork, Fiverr, and Freelancer, hear me, offer opportunities to do a variety of freelance jobs such as writing, programming, designing, marketing, data entry, and even being a virtual assistant. Even in the midst of a pandemic, listen to me well, there are still essential services that require personnel in order to exist and to run. You might want to consider putting yourself in that position. I'm going to give you maybe 3 more. And this is a big one. This is a good one for some of you that have your own home or have your own space. You might want to consider in this season, in this juncture, listing your spare bedroom on an Airbnb, a HomeAway, or even a Peerspace platform. There are people, even in the midst of a pandemic, that still need housing, that still need to travel for certain things. There are people that are working even in certain medical fields or in certain research capacities that still have to find places to stay. Even with travel being limited, people are still moving. And if you have an extra bedroom, if you have an extra whatever in the place that you call home, this could be the perfect opportunity to possibly list that extra bedroom as a source to bring in extra income, extra revenue for your household. For example, Airbnb hosts earn an average of $924 per month. Did you hear what I said? Airbnb hosts on average earn $924 a month. You might want to consider this. 2 more I want to give you, all right? 2 more I want to give you. Here's the next one. Please get this one, because I really think this one's going to trigger a nerve with many of our musicians and our preachers and itinerant voices and ministry gifts. This would be the season to consider, please hear me, ebooks and e-courses. Get that one. If your baby didn't leap at Uber, if your baby didn't leap at selling your old phones and tablets and putting your room up for Airbnb, something in you all to come alive when we talk about ebooks and e-courses. Because right now, from the comfort of your home, from the comfort of your quarantined, bleached down home, you, with your cell phone camera, can put together an e-course that you can sell, that you can monetize, and put your expertise up for grabs. Many of you, you're musicians. This would be the season. Listen to me. Listen to me. You got to be creative right now. God will give us witty ideas and inventions. Musicians, this is the season for you to open up your online virtual training academy. All right. You're a full-time musician. That ought to suggest that you have a full-time set of skills, which means you can play at a certain level. Why not set it up where you go live X number of times a week, X number of times a day, and you do virtual lessons for students around the world for a nominal fee? You hearing what I'm saying? You've built something, you've developed something, you've created something. Why not put together, you have nowhere to go right now anyway. Why not put together a course, put together a training program? You can record it at the house. Hear what I'm saying to you? And you can monetize the expertise that you have built over years. You want to adopt this mindset and this mantra that your losses should be somebody else's lessons. So whether you are a minister, whether you are a musician, maybe you're a photographer and you're hurting because check this out. You're a photographer, your business model requires you to go to events and take pictures. If there are less events, there are less opportunities to take pictures. However, what will you say to the army of aspiring photographers that need to know what you already know? Why not set up a course? Why not set up an online class and train people with the very set of skills that you have used to make a living all this time? No, things are not the same. I dare not insult your intelligence by suggesting that they are. Things have changed. The landscape, we are living in a season of a new normal. Things will get better. Please make sure that's clear. Things will absolutely get better, but I cannot guarantee that things will return to what we have come to know as normal, because I believe we're getting ready to see a new normal. I'm simply challenging you to set yourself up for success, not just today, but in the future. And I'm hoping that something on this list today will trigger something in you that say, hey, maybe I can use this until things get back where they need to go. Maybe this will help me do what I need to do. Praying for you. We love you. Again, if you need more resources, if you need more information, simply contact us today, info@exploreylc.com. We are here as a resource to help and to serve you. We're praying for you. We cannot wait to see you soon. Take care.